Hi everyone, today we're going to create a chain in Blender. We just open the program. As you can see, I'm using Blender 2.69. I'm just going to delete the cube by pressing delete and enter on my keyboard, and I want to add a torus. So I'm just going to zoom in on the torus, just scroll around to have a look at it. Now over on the left hand side you'll notice this add torus section. Down here I want you to change the major segments to 46. You can play around with the minor segments, see how it creates more segments and more or less segments. And I'm going to add, I think 16 looks good. Also you can play around with the major radius. The major radius will change where this outside part of the torus is. So I might just put it there. And also the minor radius will change where the inside part of the torus is. So if I make it smaller, it's making the torus smaller, or making it larger, it's making the torus thicker. I'm going to keep it like that. You can use your own measurements for this part, but keep the major segments at 46. Once you've got it as you want it, I'm just going to press smooth. Okay, it's looking pretty good, but like a donut. Right, we just want to view this using the number pad and go to 5, 7 to take us to top ortho view. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, and I want to rotate my torus on the x-axis. So while the mouse is in the viewport, I'm just going to press R to rotate, X, and then on the number pad I'm going to press 90 and enter. Okay, just to flip the torus around. I'm going to press tab to go into edit mode, and I want to change to wireframe view. I want to go to front view, so I'm going to press 1, and then I'm going to press A to deselect everything. Now I want to press B on my keyboard to select the right hand side of the torus. Now the reason why we put 46 in as our major segments before is so, as you can see by the Z axis, when I select the right hand side, I'm not going to go through any edges or vertexes. So I'm just going to select that side, and I want to move it to the right. So move is G on my keyboard, and I want to move it on the x-axis, so just X. And I'm just going to drag my mouse over to the right and make it about there. So just click when you've got it where you want it. Now I'm just going to zoom out. I'm going to press tab to go back to object view, and I'm going to change back to solid. Now I want to duplicate my chain, so I'm just going to go Shift D to duplicate. I want to move it, so G on the x-axis, X. I'm just going to move it over to about there and just click, and then I need to rotate it, so I'm just going to press R, and I want to rotate it on the x-axis, so X. I'm just going to press 90 on the keypad and enter. And if I scroll around, you can see we've got 2 linked chains. Okay, if I zoom out a bit more, I'm just going to go with my keypad back to 1, front ortho view. And if I hold shift on my keyboard and right click with the mouse, now you'll see I've got both of them selected. I want to now duplicate them again, so shift D, and I'm going to move them on the x-axis, so G, X. I'm just going to drag them over to about there. So I don't want those touching, those two. I'm just going to scroll around and make sure they're not. Brilliant. Excellent. Now what you can do is just zoom out a bit more. Hold shift, select the other ones again. Control or shift D. G, X. I'm just going to move those ones over to there and click. That's the end of tutorial 1. You've got a pretty cool looking chain. What you want to do is go to File, Save As, and I'm going to save this as chain tutorial and press save. Now to make sure this is ready to print, we need to also export it. So holding shift, I'm just going to make sure all of it is selected and go to File, Export, STL file. So it's chain tutorial.stl, export. Now it's ready to print. So if we exit out of there, go into where you've saved your files, chain tutorial. I'm just going to double click that and open it up in the Netfab software that I downloaded. So it's a free version that I haven't registered, so I just have to wait until it's ready. Perfect. So if everything in here is green, you know it's good to go on the 3D printer. So I'll exit that. And if I right click my chain tutorial, I can open with the Makerbot software. I'll move it to the platform. It looks pretty small there, so I'll just press scale, make it a bit larger. So it looks pretty good, I think. So from there, press make. I think it definitely needs supports. It possibly needs a raft, although you might get away with it if it's small enough. I think I'll add it to this one. I'm just going to press preview before printing, which will enable me to have a look at it and check to see how long it's going to take to print, and also it will tell me how much it will weigh or how much filament it will use, so we'll get an idea of how much it will cost. So at the moment it's just going through slice by slice. Oops, running out of power. And now nothing wants to work. Okay, so it's going to take about 90 minutes and use 18 grams. So 10 grams is around about $1, so, or 90 cents. So that would be not much to print. If I press export, and I'll save that as the X3G file. And we're ready to go.